This was a Tuesday practice for us, so it's great to get a head start. And I feel like we're probably the best we've been as far as the players being fresh after some time off, which is good, and refocused. And so I thought they had a really good day. And looking forward to a really good week and an exciting game to go play.
Talk about Charles Parsons' role on the team.
Yeah, Charles really has gone in a couple times for us on kickoff coverage over the year. But really, he does a great job for us on the service team. A lot of times we make their best defensive lineman, we make him play that guy and give us a really good look, especially when they have strong guys, powerful guys. And so he's actually really helped us behind the scenes.
Is that why we've seen him jump around a little bit? Is because he's switching for whatever their best person is?
Well, we've just kind of gone back and forth trying to find the spots. Sometimes that happens with guys. They're kind of tweeners in size, and and then there may be injuries at certain spots while we move him as well.
Is there a certain weight you want him at? Because it seems like he's a little slender, maybe, for the defensive line.
Yeah, but he's quick too. And we've seen guys like Morgan Bresson, be undersized and make plays. So I think he'll keep developing in our program.
Lane, Utah's kind of had a rough season so far. Jordan Wynn went out. They got beat up pretty bad by Arizona State last week. What sorts of things do you do to, especially with the bye week, keep the team focused and ready for what could be a tough game?
Well, we talk to our guys a lot about that previous games don't matter, and they really don't matter anywhere in college football. You see it every Saturday. Every one of us, every one of you guys is going to sit down and watch a game. There's no way this team's going to beat that team because they lost by that many points to a common opponent or whatever it is. Every Saturday is different. That's why, and the best way to look at it is when you look at the NFL and teams in conference that play in division that play twice. Why do they split sometimes? If one team's better. So every game's different, and also we're always going to get everybody's best shot. It's going to be the most people they've ever had in their stands. It's going to be the best environment wherever we go to play, and so all that stuff about where other teams they played, especially if it's on the road like it was at Arizona State, will have nothing to do with this game. They'll be very motivated.
What did you think of last night's game, Stanford-Washington game? Did that surprise you at all?
No, really didn't. People asked me that morning. I thought it'd be very low scoring, very close, and thought Washington would probably pull it off because they were at home and because it's Stanford's quarterback's first road game, and it's always tough going to an environment that really got rocking in the second half once people got there. I'm sure they were dealing with traffic and work week, and what you saw them play really good football. They shut them down, played great defense. And they got the quarterback hit a few times, but then started throwing quicker and got the ball outside, and then made plays against their secondary.
Is there anything that you kind of have to relay to your team in terms of going into a Thursday night game with kind of the screwy week and stuff like that they can learn from what happened in that game at all?
No, I don't think that had anything to do with that game being Thursday night. I mean, Washington played great defense because they came really physical and had a great plan against them. It wouldn't matter what night it was. And they made plays in the fourth quarter, and Stanford wasn't able to make some of those plays down the field. So it has nothing to do with that. We basically trick our players into the days like today's Tuesday. So it really doesn't matter. And we did it twice last year, a Thursday and a Friday.
I know you're not talking specifically about injuries, but you have mentioned going into this week that the guys hope to get back. Can you give us any update on guys that have made some strides? Or
no, I just think in general, when I say we're the best we've been, I think it's because you've got players that aren't playing at 100%. And hopefully we're getting them closer back to that. We rested a lot of guys last week because of that, and then hopefully some guys maybe that aren't playing at all can give us a few snaps here and there.
You mentioned yesterday on the radio these guys were mentally drained. Did that you use that word? Does that surprise you? Were you surprised it's just still in September?
Yeah, I just think they were just a little tired, physically and mentally, with all the build-up in the camp and the off-season expectations. Even though we downplay them, they're still there. And then the long trip east to the East Coast and coming back and going up to Stanford the next week, and obviously not playing well up there, and them getting beat up left and right about that game. And then come back and play another conference team. It just was a good time to get away a little bit, and I'm sure that they were excited to probably get away from us for a little bit too.
You said you downplayed the expectations. Did you think they bought into hide too much?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that had anything to do with, we go back to that Stanford game and what happened in that game, with the sacks and not running the ball and not calling a great game myself. That had nothing to do with that. As we played in bigger games than that before. So it wasn't like that was the biggest game ever that we were playing in.
You called it a debacle in that radio interview, I think. Is that is that how you feel about that game?
Yeah, it was. You'd love to have it back, but you can't. And in coaching, you're just like players. You don't. Every game's not the same. You're gonna have some games that you make some better calls and you get in rhythm. And I didn't feel like I did really well in that game with our guys. And obviously we'd love to have been full strength too with the center and kicker. So you can't take it back. But no, it was a debacle from the standpoint of we felt we should have won that game with our team if we play the way that we can play, and we didn't.